What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, safety glasses on and everything. Never wear these things, but I was doing some stuff and I put them on. I don't even know why. I never wear them, but listen, this is what we're going at. Before I get into it, yep, because you know the oh no Nazis are gonna complain if you don't prove that it's not loaded. So you guys remember this build that I did? I love it. This is my new favorite snub nose ever, and I've had some good ones. I'm loving this, but I never put a front sight on it, right? And I was thinking to myself, well, without a front sight, you know, I can't make, like 5-yard target shooting very good. You could do it, but even though this is like a 3 to 5 feet out of the pocket protector, you still want to be able to target shoot. So I was thinking of different things I could do. And one of the things I was thinking about was, I'll show you here if I can actually get to it. Is I was going to cut the ramp, the original ramp off. And as I was cutting, I realized, well, this sucks. It's taking way too much time, and it's a fat ramp, and it takes up a lot of the gutter, so you don't get a lot of what you want to see. So then I started thinking, well, why not do something completely different that no one else is doing? So I grabbed a penny, right? And what I'm thinking, where I put that thing, is maybe grind the penny down. That would be on this side to about there, right? Somewhere in there. So you'd see that much penny. And use the penny in the front. And what I would do is I would make a little line right here. I would score myself a nice straight line right there, and then JB Weld in the penny. And that's what I was thinking. And the reason the penny would be perfect is because it's completely round, so you'd have no bad effect from this thing coming out. So all I would literally need to do is make a little scar, a little slit for the penny to slip in. Luckily it's a thin penny, so I'm thinking that with the Sawzall, if I can run just a straight line down, a perfect straight line, that would be good. Or I can just use a file and just hand do it over and over and over again. So I'll figure out that after I figure out this. So first things first, I gotta file me down a penny to get it down to a nice blade. So what I'm gonna do is, let's see, it looks like a weedy little 1955. I'm going to hold this guy to pretty much to the depth I want it. Just bring it over to the stone, grind it, and then take it over to the belt and make it nice and flat. And that should be my front sight. So I'm going to lose everything first, and then once I find it all, I don't know what I did with it, but once I find the that barrel end with the ramp, I will measure how much of the penny I need, and I'll show you in a second. Okay. Back pocket. So this is what I'm thinking. Right here, it needs to be cut down inside of there, so I need a groove to be about this deep, and that will stick out right there and give me a nice little area to put that through. So now I need to work on cutting a little valley inside there, then polishing up the rest of this penny. I don't need any of the decorations on the penny. I just thought a nice little copper disc would work out perfect. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to finish shoring that up. Then I have to try and figure out a way how to make that valley happen on the top of the gun sight. So that's next. Hold on. All right, so as you can see, it's not set in there yet, but as you can see, I have a little wiggle room. I go a little forward, a little back, but I like it. Way down there. Hold on a second. What I just do with that penny? Boys and girls, I made myself a front sight, and then I dropped it in the dimmest light So, all right, let me find this penny. Hold on. Duh. All right, so there's my penny. There's my front grind line. It's not pretty right now because I didn't finish it up. That'll come with after all the adhesive I have to throw into this thing. So it looks like, let me get all that crap out of there. So it looks like we are talking about a good set right around there. So once it's all cleaned up, that is going to be the new front sight. All right, try to turn it without dropping it since it's not set in. Let me get to that camera lens right there. You can see that is dead straight, even though it's leaning a little bit. You can see that is straight on. So that's it. I got to polish up this guy right here, and you can see all that's sticking out is, well, a good old Honest Abe's hairline, I think. That's about it. So front sight is made. I just have to finish it up a little bit, and then I need to put on the JB Weld. I'll mix a little bit of that. I got some sitting over there, and throw this guy in there, and I will have a front sight. And once it's JB welded, that thing won't go anywhere. That'll be perfect, and it'll be sitting right like that. Now, I've never done this before. I've never even attempted it. I've never, the only mods I've ever done are custom built AR-15s and a couple, I built a ground up 1911 and some 1022 Ruger. Oh, if you want to see a cool 1022 Ruger, look up on my page. It's one of my first ever videos. It was the Robin Hood Challenge, shooting an arrow from 50 yards away the long way, hitting the arrow with a 22 bullet, the arrow sticking into a target this way and hitting it there. So trying to hit that with one shot, 50 yards. That's right, I did that. So yeah, that's it. So now it's just about finishing touches on the front side. And I might even leave it a little bit rugged. I kind of like it. But I wanted to go with the penny instead of the dime because it matches that perfectly, right? So I mean, you look at that color and that color, it's as penny as you get as far as coloration. Look at that. That is perfect. So that's the deal. JB Weld, throw that in there, and that's it. So hold on now. All right, so it is officially in there. The JB Weld is slowly drying. See if I can get, there you go. I think you can see it. I think I just knocked it a little bit, but there you go. You can see right down there, that nice sight line now. Look at that. How beautiful is that? So I just got to make sure it dries straight, so I got to keep playing with it. And as it's drying and hardening, I just have to keep it in line, and it should be dry pretty soon actually. So I might just put a thumb on it and hold it down there for a few, just like that. And as I'm holding it now, it's really straight. So you guys will see it nice and tight in a minute. Oh, actually in a second. Okay, so now it is in there. It's set. It's not going anywhere. It's straight. It's looking mighty nice. It's not 100%. The glue's not 100% set yet, but man, let me see if I can get this in there. Well, you can see, maybe I could use that color. You can see that sitting right there. It looks pretty. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this set until tomorrow, and that way the glue can fully harden. And so tomorrow for me is going to be a bunch of hours away. Tomorrow for you is going to be at the end of this pause. and then we will see it going in and out of the pocket, and I'll probably put it in some kind of holster and draw from there, and we will see how that penny holds up. So next. Well, that seemed like a fast second. All right, so here's the thing, guys. I tried really hard. I wanted it to come out good. Sometimes in the process of making custom stuff, we screw up and the entire project can go in one single move. And this this is definitely not the case, because it is awesome. All right, so here we go. All right, we got the little sheath here. Somebody asked me, you know, how is it the front sight going to be going in and out of a holster, and how fast is the draw going to be, and things like that. So I put it in a little holster here, and obviously it's empty. I gotta probably pop it out to show you that, but empty gun. Comes out fast, works beautiful. You can see I shaved down the top of the penny, right? Made it really nice and fit the contouring. So now when I look down, whoop, you can see right there. You can see that it's just pretty. Just pretty. So I love the penny because, like I already said, the copper matches. And this turned out to be a nice copper color. Did I mean for it to be a nice copper color? No, but it is, and it is sweet. And I have to say that the front sight is great. I love the front sight on there. The entire package, I think this is just a great looking gun. The penny is just, I mean, who thinks to use a penny as a front sight, right? And now what I did, I don't even think I showed you guys. What I did is I just took a Dremel with a little cutoff wheel and just eyeballed it. And I know that when it was a 4-inch barrel, when I shot, my pattern veered to one side. So what I did is I took the sight, I don't know if you can even see it, but just a hair to one side. So that'll pull my sights even. But this gun is not going to be accurate beyond 20 yards. It'll keep an accurate group, but, and I'm not even going to say it's not going to be accurate, because who knows, this might line up differently now. Like when you, like I have a very minimal chafer in there. I mean, I barely dug it out. And generally what happens when you crown right here, the inside, it just allows the gases to push your bullet out in an even way. And if you don't have that, and there's any kind of angle or discrepancy, then what happens is the gases can push the bullet in a way beyond the way it's supposed to be going. But it's always going to push the bullets to the same place. So even if it's not going to where, look, if I aim it here and the bullet lands here, all of my bullets are going to land here. So you just have to know that if you're shooting slightly left, right, then you just aim slightly right, but your groupings aren't going to change. So it's kind of people make a big deal out of it. The main reason for this is damage. You know what I mean? When bullets come out, they can rattle and move around, and so you can get little tiny chips and damages and all that crap on the end, but you can get that from cleaning rods too. So it's not as big of a deal as people like to make it out to be. But I don't know, it looks nice like this, so I just left it. That's the way I wanted it. And because this is going to be a 3 to 5 foot self-protection gun, then you really don't need to worry about grouping, center mass 20 yards away. If you're carrying this, it's for immediate draw because somebody is trying to rob you or carjack you or this and that. So out of the holster, how is it? Now you could see that this big cut right here that I made, it's just so easy to get your hands around that. I have zero issues with the front sight reaching the top of my my holster here. I'm not getting like drag that's pulling the sight out or anything like that. And I'm trying to pull at an angle so I would get some scraping here, but it's really if you do the sight right, and mine is even slightly above stock, and that's just to pick it up easier. And it being nice and thin, like the stock one was, twice as thick as this. Being nice and thin, I can be able to get around the sight so I can see my sight picture, whatever I'm looking at, if I needed to aim. But again, I'm not looking down. The only time that's really a problem where you're gonna, your front sight is gonna cover your target is if you're looking way down and your target's only this big. This is gonna be a Bigfoot sized target, maybe a 5'8" Bigfoot, because average people, I guess. I mean, big feet. So that's what I need to target on. So I didn't even need a front sight. Front sight is range time. If I want to do some 5-yard range time and put it on paper, that's the only reason for it. And the fact that straight up ingenuity, I used a penny. So really, really cool. The draw is fast. You know what I mean? Even from a seated position, if I'll waistband it. All right. So from a seated position, waistbanded, you got some trouble coming in. You have to get up the shirt, right? So you have to be able to lift the shirt before you get to your weapon. So hands free, because my hand's not on my weapon when I'm just chilling out. Oh crap! And I just used my shirt to move it, but sitting down, it's tough. So it's right there. I mean, getting it out. The hardest part was moving the shirt. The grab of the actual handle, having this cut out here, and I'm a very, very large hand person. So this would be even better for smaller hand people. Think about how quick that would be. But even for me, once that middle finger hits here, it's just pulling straight up. You know what I mean? And it's that one finger that sets it all off. The rest just carry it right with it. But that came out awesome. It's got a great point of aim. It's easy to find. It matches my handle. So this is the last installment of the 38 Special Gun Mod. And I have to say that this build was completely worth doing. I have an 1860 Army that I want to bulldog. And what I will do is I will round the butt on the Army. I'm going to cut down the barrel, take off the ramrod, and I don't have one yet, but eventually what I'm going to do is go from black powder to 45 long Colt. So I'll show you all that when it's time. As for now, I got a bunch of knife videos to do. But this right here, the hammer going from inside the belt, and I'm using an inside the belt holster. This has been an absolute joy and pleasure to own and carry, because there is nothing going on right here that is bad. I mean, it is just sweet. It's no pinching, no grinding, no scratching, no poking, no cutting. Just a really, really nice hammer. That was done perfectly. I'm pretty pleased with all that. This thing is just, this is a great project. This is one of my favorites now. I love it. It came out so well. And I mean, just the weight, concealability, and all that. I could just stick it in a back pocket, and I'll show you. So when it's in the back pocket, I mean, it's right there. You can't even tell that I have a gun in my back pocket. Boop. It's so easy. It's so easy. You know what I mean? And it hides right there. It hides beautifully. If I want to front pocket it, let's see. Ooh, I almost fell down. If I want to front pocket it, it's right there. I mean, it looks no different than if you're carrying a cell phone or a wallet. The difference is I can still, because the size, put my hand fully in my pocket. That looked a little funky. And then the draw comes out easy because there's no catching on the hammer. There's no catching on the front sight. It's just beautiful. If I used a post, I'm pretty sure I would have caught. But going with this rounded blade, there's nothing to get caught because it's round. So if I do this the whole time and just skate my hands across it, it just keeps going right across. I love it. I love it. So it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to make yourself a sweet little snubby. And if you have a little cutoff tool, the Dremel, you just make yourself a nice little hole. And of course you're gonna, because it's a round disc, the cutoff tool, and I put a flat thing and a round disc, so you have to cut it and go back and forth. So your line is going to be longer than the hole that you need, right? So, but your depth is going to be mainly in the middle. And then you take it and you go, and you get it to where that flat spot is good. So what I did is I just, in the remaining part of the cut, I put in the JB Weld. Like you can see right there, there's JB Weld in the remaining, but it's all filled in. So it's all filled in. Being a silver gun with clear liquid or clear glue, it kind of just fills right in and you don't even notice it. If I didn't say anything, you guys probably would have not noticed. That's it. That's it. All right, let's get some blades. Let's get some blades. I'm gonna be all day. Until next video.